Hi, everybody, and thank you for joining us. I am Dr. Roldan, and this is my colleague, Zach McDaniel. We are excited to share Play to Belong research and Esports Engagement Center that reimagines college sports as an engine for inclusion, belonging, and leadership here at San Diego State University.
So we're coming to you live from the SDSU library where our Esports Engagement Center is located. It lives right in the heart of the academic life here on campus. This placement was intentional. It helps us reframe gaming as scholarship, and it signals to everyone that all belong in the space of play. All right, so for today, here's what our roadmap looks like. We're going to talk about our origins, how the center began and why the library became our home base. We're going to look at our players, those that are using the center and what those demographics look like. We're going to talk about our early levels, the first programming we started here in the center and what that looked like and what that taught us. And then we're going to talk about the psychology at play and how that helps belonging and leadership grow through esports.
And we will wrap it up with a practical takeaway and look ahead where We Play and Belong is headed next year.
All right. So when we opened the Esports Engagement Center, our first design question was, where should it live? And after considering several options on campus, we chose the 24-hour section of our library, a place associated with learning, inclusion, and academic serious, and we've been very happy finding our home here. That choice helped us change the narrative of what gaming means. It helps those see it as not necessarily just a distraction or maybe just a hobby, but helps us frame it as engaged learning. Students walk past the center every day and see kind of esports happening amidst all the study pods and the tutoring stations on campus. And it's a visual statement that gaming and scholarship can coexist. You go, let's see here. All good. So with the center, we designed our framework of our mission and our purpose around the 6 pillars of our student affairs and campus diversity framework, which includes student success, career development, health and safety, principles of community, social justice and social change, and personal development. And what these do is they help us align all of our activities and our missions and our challenges to make sure that they're all aligned with at least one of these different pillars. And to help make that happen, we have an advisory board made up of librarians, IT from their division. We have faculty who have a passion for gaming and gaming research, and we have our student leaders who are already involved in esports, and we make sure that all of those voices are included to help drive the direction of where the Esports Engagement Center is going. And we want to show you a student creation of what their experience is like with the Esports Center. We are really grateful to have student leaders turned interns that get to kind of flex their skills and all they've learned and use it to give back and support the development of the Esports Center.
This is our open space. Our open glass wall brings light and steady flow to foot traffic to invite participation. The setup communicates gaming belongs in mainstream campuses life, not hiding away a banner in the basements.
But who are these individuals that are visiting our center? So in the past year, we tracked 7,500 student and guest visitors to the Esports Center, which is amazing. It's one of the highest traffic places on our campus. From that population, we do see a gender split of about 80 and 20 between male and female, which is not so atypical from, I guess, what is considered the traditional gender makeup of gaming. But we do know from research that gamers are more likely 50-50 as far as those who are actually playing games. And so what this tells us is that we have a primary audience that we want to support. We do want to support engaging men in higher education in a highly interactive space, but we also want to make sure it's an inclusive space for women, and it helps us think about the kind of programming we can do And we'll talk about that actually in a bit.
Yeah.
We also see that the majority of our population falls into that traditional age of students between 18 and 22. And so that allows us to design programming that focuses on their experiences as incoming new students, to what it's going to be like once they're graduating, and hopefully for a lot of them going into a career in the esports field.
Yes. And then we have the 1,600 annual unique visitors. What that means is we have just people that's curious because they were in the library to come and visit. And out of those, we transformed 700 plus repeat visitors, which is a very good treasure, if you ask me. Then we have the ethnicities of our visitors. We have 33% of Hispanic Latino population, 30% Asian, and 20% Caucasian. Also, we are dividing it by colleges because it's not just computer science that is coming for gaming. It's also our science department that we have 33.1%. We have our engineers. Believe it or not, they're only 18.9%, which is very surprising. And we have our professional studies and fine arts that was 15.7%. And then we have business that is almost as close to engineering, 13.5%. So for fall of 2024, we have our level 1 or early stages. We launched our first faculty collaboration assessments and collaboration workshops. And one of those, it was our games for representation. And we host two very important representation workshops. One, it was video games and indigenous representation. That was our first pilot one. And we had such a success that then we did, with collaboration of centers and the student body, Women's and Game Night, that we have 3 different state hours, because we were from New York, we were in Florida, and then here in San Diego, California, via Zoom and in person, to network with the students, to talk about the ins and outs of gaming as a woman. And then we have
our collaboration with our career services department, and we developed, as part of their AI series, an exploring careers in esports workshop. Career development was one of our key pillars as far as our mission statement for the Esports Engagement Center. And we wanted to do something where we recognize that a lot of new students are interested in this field, but maybe aren't sure about how to turn one of the many majors we offer here at SDSU into a career in esports. And so we wanted to highlight all the different career paths they could go on, and hopefully use this as a launching point for future programming where we bring in industry speakers. One of the key takeaways that we heard from students is that they love hearing from professionals in industries. They want to know how they got into this field. They want to know what they could do to prepare themselves during college to go work in these different fields. They want to see food at their workshops. And so the times where we got the most attendance at these things were when they were at lunchtime and evening. So something to just be aware of. And also they love to see collaborations. They love opportunities to include student organizations. They love opportunities to see other departments on campus, because it becomes more engaging. They can see that gaming is supported across the campus, not just in the Esports Center, but in the many different spaces that they're engaging across SDSU.
Yes. And also in here, you can see belonging, how belonging looks like. We have students laughing, competing, and crafting together. And that was during workshops that we have.
These are not just gamers. These are our future leaders. They're cooperating across their majors and the different identities and all the social capital forms they hold. They're building friendships that they can carry from here into their classes, their internships, and the many different campus leadership roles that they're going after.
Yeah. Or field notes capture students saying things like, I finally got to be seen. And that creates a belonging. Ecological belonging research has proved that when you see one, you become one, aka mentorship. We also have social capital. Studies link cooperative play to engagement and leadership, building this as a momentum for our programs. the next semester, what are we trying to do? So now that we have collaboration, not just by the center and students in other communities, we also have now research, and that's what we have brought to you. Our new two ideas for 2016, we will introduce neurodivergent and mental wellness in gaming, safety first, prevention for radicalization in game spaces, integration to pre and post collective belonging. And we have a special survey that will connect engagement with academics, because we have the persistent stigma that gaming is a waste of time, that rots your brain, and it doesn't help you to create leaders of the future. So we will be assessing for any kind of addictive behaviors, or also how they have increased in academics.
Mm-hmm. We know it's so important to include student voices in the development of spaces like this. And so we do feedback surveys every semester to kind of gauge from students how things are going, what their experience is like, and gives them an opportunity to give feedback. And so these are some of the things we've been hearing from them, that this is a space where laughter, competition, and studying are all welcomed together in the same space.
For example, I have met some really great friends at ECC. It helps me not to feel so alone as a freshman. As a professor, this means so much, because the first 8 weeks of any college semester, they're the most dangerous for multiple reasons, for addiction, for self-harming, and DV. So having this center where they feel seen and they feel happy and they feel that they can belong.
All right. Excuse me. I get really excited talking about this. No, but it's amazing seeing how far we've come in the past 2 years. We went from having no space on campus and a really passionate student org advocating for esports space on campus, to not only having a thriving center and a gaming community, but a space where we can talk about issues of diversity and inclusion in gaming. We can talk about mental health and what it means to be a gamer and the impact that has on students. And we can also help students really explore the possibility that gaming is not just a hobby, that it can be, in fact, a career, and for something that for them to build a life around.
And so far, our achievement lesson lock, second part of our honeycomb. So we have include careers in esports workshops, connecting the students with industry professionals in their own specific interests. Like we have indigenous indie gaming developers that they came for the workshop. We have the Women's Center and the women's around the world that are gamers and that they're in the industry. We identify identities in gaming and discussions highlighting women and BIPOC voices. Wellness in gaming sessions, exploring the flow of emotional regulation, because who has not lose their mind when we go into zero, or all our lives have gone away. Integration with university seminars, courses, academic courses that they come and see our center.
And so each of these do align with these elements of our framework: our student success, career development, health and safety, principles of community, social justice and social change, and personal development. We're not just running competitions and tournaments in our space. With all of those, we are also building well-rounded student leaders.
So we could done this alone. Thank you to the SDSU Library, the IT, Student Services, Student Affairs, and Campus Diversity, to our amazing students, and to co-creating this program.
If you'd like to connect with us, to collaborate, replicate this model, ask us questions, please do reach out. You have our contact information right here. But before we go, we'd like to just leave you with some takeaways. So one, location is culture. Putting esports in a library space, a high traffic academic space, can really transform how students and faculty view gaming. Co-design is inclusion. Programs work when students and diverse voices lead the design of your spaces. And play is pedagogy. Through games, Students practice leadership, empathy, and resilience.
Or measurable goals, a 5% retention increase for next year, and a 0.5 standard deviation boost in belonging, meaning the feeling that we have is our target for the next 2 years in our groups, not just for the gamers, but for everybody that see that glass window of fun.
So we're also creating open access resources. We're documenting all the work we're doing. We're creating slide decks, safety guides, leadership position role templates so that other institutions can adopt and adapt. This low cost is actually a really high impact model.
Yeah. Ultimately, we're providing that an esports hub isn't a novelty, it's a strategy intervention. We go where the students are going and utilize play, belonging, and academic success all in one roof.
And by locating that roof in the library, we're making a statement. Learning can be joyful, be communal, and digital.
And thank you, all of you, for the work that you do in this era, but also for playing to belong with us here at San Diego State University.